I'm super excited for this latest product from Eufy. This is the Robot Vacuum 3-in-1 E20, and you no longer have the struggles of having multiple tools to do all your cleaning, as you have all three options inside one box. Straight away you're greeted at the top with here, which is perfectly nicely packaged, and how you unbox this and what you need to get set up. So we unbox it all just here. We get it all started by downloading the app and the support of the QR code, and then installing the vacuum head within and how it works with the different options. And here is the first look at the base station. We can see at the top just here that we have a 1000-watt self-emptying station, so you don't actually need to worry about emptying every time you do a clean. It all empties into the base just here. So if we open this up at the top, we're greeted with a vacuum bag, which is where all the items empty within. Now this has the main robot hoover itself, and we'll have a look at the specifications just on here. We can see this has 30,000 PA on it. We have a max setting, and we have a couple of other options which we'll take a look at just shortly. Let's take a closer look at the robot vacuum itself, and we have a bunch of different parts that you can see right here. So I'm going to start putting this together and get it adopted into the app, and then we'll have a look at what the app can do as well. So the first thing is, this is the brains of the operation. So right here is the main hoover itself. There's a red button which you can use to eject, and right here at the bottom is where the tank is. This is the connectivity to the main base unit, which you can see right here, and we have the attachments. So one cool feature is you don't always have to go for an attachment that you need to look at. There's one built in just here, and we can pop this in like so, and that goes in there, and then we can hold it just like so. And the actual feel of this is, it actually feels quite light to hold. Some of the other hoovers tend to be quite heavy on this side. It feels quite comfortable in your hand to hold. There's a mode button at the top, which you can then select this to go ahead and power it. Now I haven't charged it yet, and we need to get it plugged into the base station to get it charged, so we will do that shortly. Along with the main stick usage, you'll see at the top here there's a couple of pins in there, and again at the bottom of this there's a couple of pins that this is attached to, so just make sure it goes in the right way and it clicks, and then that is ready to use. We can go ahead and attach the floor vacuum, and we can use that. Again, we'll put this to the test very shortly. And once you've got this plugged in, you can go and press this button at the bottom to extend the stick, so you're not bending over so much to use the product, and that folds away nicely and compactly. We can take this off at the bottom to empty just by taking this off. We can take off all the wrapping on here. Now to make sure you have this the right way, there's a button at there's a little line that joins up just here with the unlock, and you can twist that, and that's now locked and ready to use. And then we can just simply pop this back in here, and it's ready to go. The main robot vacuum itself has the LiDAR sensors at the top just here. This little thing that we took out earlier goes straight in here. Just make sure that is the right way, and it will clip straight in like so. We have a turn wheel here, and we have the wheels at the back which have a bit of adjustment on it. So if we have a look here, you can see they go in and out quite easily. And then we have a roller brush at the front here, which you can take out at any point to clean if you wish to do so. So you can take that out once. And we have a few more sensors on the side here to stop it going over the edges. And that is everything really that you need to know about this hoover. And then when we pop this straight on here, charging. You can hear it says charging, and you can see the green bar flashing along here to show you that it is currently in charging mode. It's mapped out the room, and we're now ready to go and select our cleaning. But first things first, I'm going to go in and sprinkle some stuff on the floor, and then we'll run a second test where we look at the obstacle avoidance and how well that works. So we've sprinkled a load of stuff all over the floor, and now let's let the robot run. We can use the customized cleaning mode if we wanted to change some of the settings, but we're going to go with standard 1 times, and we can click start. We pop these down along the floor and then put them down and see how well it does in terms of the obstacle avoidance, so we can see them right there. And let's kick off the next round so it can do its testing around this. We've got everything laid out now around here, so let's go for the second round. Start cleaning. And you can see the stuff that's on the floor right here. It's kept it all in place. Nothing's moved around. It's not sucked anything up and picked it all up. For this next test, I've actually mapped out multiple rooms within this, and you can see just in the background, just up here, is where the robot sat, which is somewhere in the hallway. So not quite mapped that correctly, but it's close enough. So we have two rooms that are in the back over there. We have this, and we have the hallway that we can see here, and we're currently in room 3. So I'm going to go to room, and I want to say I want to clean room 3, and let's take a look at what happens with this. So this is carpet now, so the rest of these are all carpet. So I'm actually going to go on turbo clean for this. Not going to go to maximum just yet, and we'll have a look at how much dust this collects. So click OK. We know we want to do room 3, and then we can go and press start. So I've deliberately let this run to make sure that it does come in the right direction, and it's coming to this room, which is great. So hopefully it picks up exactly where it's going to be. And then we'll let this run down here and see what kind of dust it picks up from here. And you can see the vacuum has picked up a bit more sound. And this is where it goes and empties the vacuum. So I'm hoping I can show it in this video, but there's too much light reflection, but you can see the amount of dust in there at the moment because it's going to do the auto clean if I try and shield the light a little bit. So there you go, you can see the amount of dust inside there. That's all built up, and that's now going to get emptied in just a second.
Start collecting dust.
And then it's going to turn itself around.
Charging.
So that's the cleaning done of that room, and I'm quite impressed with the way that it mapped it out. It's figured out where the room is and didn't have any hesitation getting there and cleaned it perfectly fine. You saw the amount of dust that it picked up, so it's picked that up very nicely, and the floor is now clean. That was only on power 2 mode. There is still a third mode, which is the maximize power, that will pick up any heavy dirt that are in those carpets or any dust that might be built up as well. So you can see if I zoom in right here, we had the tripod standing just in the corner here, as you saw on the B-roll, and this is the layout of the room and what it's cleaned. So I think it's done a relatively good job, and if you wanted to, you could go, as I mentioned, you can go to the room and you can select the rooms that you want to clean. So if you want to do different rooms, you can do, so you don't have to clean in every area, which is great. As we saw the cleaning a few moments ago, let me tell you about the Aero Turbo 5-stage filtration system. Now you can see in this image displayed on the screen, there are 5 main steps to make sure the filtration captures 99.97% of all the particles that come through. So we start with the main cyclone, which takes all the big debris. Then we have the stainless steel mesh, which traps the hair and fibrous material. Then we separate the air from the dust. Step 4 is the capturing of the finer dust particles, and step 5 is the finest particles like bacteria. The next part I want to take a look at are the 2 other functions that are built into this Hoover. Now, I think it's been said multiple times, but one annoying thing is there's no place to add these attachments other than the one that's built into the Hoover. The one that's there is great and it works perfectly fine, But for the standing attachment and the other one that you can use in the car or on the stairs or wherever you want to use this, there's no place to keep it held together. So there's no clips on the side. So maybe you might need to do a bit of adjustment as to where you're going to keep those. But let's take a look at how those work. This is one of the attachments that comes inside the box. So it has the little brush at the front and you can press this down and you have this little suction pad at the back right here. So we can pop this forward. And if you have areas like here that obviously the robot can't get to, then you can use something like this. You hold down the power button on the front and you have 3 different modes. Press it down and press it down again, and that's your maximum modes. So if I show you, we just go down here and that picks up the dust as we go through. And it's really easy and lightweight, so you can just go ahead and get this into those hard to reach places. And if we take a quick look, you can see the difference between the two. That's picked up everything really nicely. The Eufy robot will give you approximately 180 minutes worth of cleaning time, and that's an estimate from Eufy, and I imagine that's probably on the eco mode as well. However, the good thing about this is it does have fast charging, and you can be back to 100% in just 2.5 hours. Now I'm going to show you the final 2 attachments. We have this part right here, which we can connect straight in. And once that's in, there's a button on the back that you can choose to extend this to the correct height that you need. And then again, hold down the power button and you can see we have some spillage on the area here. You might not necessarily want to run the robot itself. So we can take this out and run this, hold the power button down, and that gets powered up. And again, we have your 3 power modes, so we can go and run this. And just like that, the spillage is all cleared up. And then we can go do the same, close this up, pop the attachment out here. And we can pop this back straight in here, ready to run again. And we can pop this next to it. If you've found you had something in the corner that you couldn't get to, we have the final attachment, which we can pop on just here. And that goes straight in. And again, power it up. And you can go into those hard to reach places in the corners. If I quickly open this up and show you inside, you can see that that's picked up a load of dirt from what we've just hoovered. For those that want to go the extra mile and do the deep cleaning, you can use the first attachment that I showed you, power it up and go and clean the skirting boards out. So you can get yourself all on there with your brush, and that gets all the way there and cleans it all the way through. After that last clean, I have one final pass running upstairs, which I'm showing you just here. So I have room 5, room 4, room 1, room 2, and then the 3rd room, which we did earlier. So I have these running at the moment, and it's been running for about half an hour or so, but it's running 2 passes in each room, and we're on the turbo mode. It's emptied its canister 1 time already, and no doubt it'll probably do it again before it finishes as well. But I wanted to show you that when it does do a double pass, it does do a crisscross pattern. So it goes one way up and down the room, and then it goes the other way up and down the room. So what are my final thoughts of this Hoover? It's practical, it has 3 different functionalities, which allows me to keep 1 tool instead of multiple, and it's all very easily controllable via the app. The good thing also as well, when you are doing multi-room cleaning, you can go ahead and select different types for each room. So if you wanted a deep clean in room 1, or you had a hardwood floor in room 2, and you didn't want the turbo, or you wanted just the eco mode, you could go and select them differently in each individual room. In terms of robot hoovers and how they work, I think it did a relatively good job picking everything up off the hardwood floor. I was quite impressed with the obstacle avoidance. It managed to avoid everything and go around it perfectly. So those LiDAR sensors and everything within there worked really well to pick everything up. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, what you think of this. If you're looking to get your hands on one of these, Eufy are currently running a promotion in their spring period where you can get $150 off the unit itself. There's a link down in the description below, so you can check that out. For now, this is Inside Wire, and I'll see you in the next one.